What's up, everybody? Back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from Mikkeller Brewing San Diego, and they are out of course, San Diego, California. And this is their barrel-aged Beer Geek Maple Vanilla Shake. So this is an Imperial Stout brewed with coffee, vanilla, and maple syrup, and then aged in bourbon barrels. Comes in at 13% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. I have no idea how old this one is exactly, and that's because I grabbed this at the One Stop Brew Shop in Rochester, New York, and it was in a pre-filled 16-ounce crowler can, and it was probably in the crowler for a couple days. So I would say, considering that I bought this about 3 weeks ago at the time of review, this is the freshest it would be is about a month old, and the oldest I would probably put about maybe 3 months old. Whatever, it's fine. It's in a 16-ounce can. It's been refrigerated the entire time, so I mean we should be fine here. So yeah, I've had a couple of the Beer Geek shakes. I've had the vanilla shake. I think that's the only shake I had. I've had a bunch of the Beer Geek series, but when I saw this, I was like, bourbon barrel aged Beer Geek maple vanilla shake. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. So this was in like they have like a fridge behind the counter at the One Stop Brew Shop. They had a couple of these left, and they were $9.99 a can. Now, $9.99 a can, 16 ounces, quite expensive, but you're talking about 13% Imperial Stout with 3 different adjuncts, bourbon barrel aged, and I've never seen cans of this in my area, so I splurged. We'll see if it's worth it. Anyway, let's give it a crack. Like I said, it's been in the crowler, I'd say, for the last three weeks or so. We should be okay. Of course, I crack this open and beer goes everywhere. What are you going to do? That is motor oil. That is one of the thickest, just darkest looking, wow, Imperial Stouts that I have reviewed on the channel in some time. Gonna cheat a little bit. Anyway, it's all over my hands, all over the place. It just went everywhere. Whatever, doesn't matter. Oh my God. Yeah, anyway. There are sheets of alcohol legs. There are sheets. That is straight on pitch black. You can't get much darker than that as far as a beer is concerned. Had about a half finger of this dark brown mocha, like deep mocha color, but I say dark brown. It has dissipated to a thin film, probably with all those adjuncts, barrel aged, the whole nine. That looks like a fucking crazy beer, and that's because it pretty much is. Let's get a nose. By the time I post this review, we're going to be probably through the first half of 2018. This is up there with one of the best aromas of any beer I've reviewed in 2018. It's amazing. There's bourbon. There's a lot of bourbon. This is not hiding the bourbon. The bourbon's in my face. It's right here. I can smell it. But then so much maple syrup, just like authentic, real, sweet maple syrup. It's blending in with that vanilla. There's a huge chocolate undertone as well. This smells like a bourbon barrel aged pastry stout personified. Like, this is pretty much what I think most people would want, at least in the aroma. You can get the maple, you can get the vanilla, you get the chocolate. Maybe the coffee is the only thing that's kind of like not in here. And they're not using chocolate, but you know, you're getting a lot of chocolate from the base Imperial Stout. Yeah, the coffee is the only thing subdued. This is like maple, vanilla, and then a bunch of bourbon and some chocolate. Oh my God. I'm gonna need some alone time. Hang on. Yeah, this smells awesome. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you and try to pull out 75 different flavors. At the end of the day, maple, vanilla, chocolate, bourbon. That's what it smells like. It smells very cohesive and intertwined. You know, not one character is bigger than the rest. It's just well blended, very cohesive. Shout out to Paul over PA Brew News, and it just smells like it's gonna be absolutely fucking delicious. So I want to get into it. Cheers, everyone. Breathe in, settle down. It's gonna be okay, because this is a fucking amazing beer. Okay, so 13%. It's boozy, right? It's not 13% boozy for me. The bourbon's there, the alcohol's there, but this drink's like 10 to 11. Definitely drinks about 2 to 3 percentage points lower than the actual ABV. There's a warming into the chest and the stomach, but on the palate, while it's boozy, it's not astringent. It's just like, okay, yeah, I'm drinking a bigger beer. Wow. It's relatively well hidden. The flavors here are just, the nose basically carries over about 98% to the taste. Tons of maple and vanilla right up front. Like the first thing that hits me is chocolate, maple, and vanilla. And not specifically in that order, but just like all three of the characters combined. Almost like an ice cream-esque blast. Yeah, right up front. Oh man. As it passes through the palate, a little bit of the Imperial Stout characteristics on the forefront. There is definitely dark fruits like plum and raisin. Maybe even like a sweet dark cherry. I'm getting like slight cherry cordial vibes in this one. As it passes through the palate, the bourbon just kind of smacks you midway through. It's like, hey, yeah, this was in a bourbon barrel. Here's the bourbon. More vanilla, a little bit of like oaky tannin thing going on. And then it finishes sweet, and more sweet. I mean, this is a sweet beer. I've said this before in so many of my reviews, like I'm to the point where sickly sweet beers or cloying beers for me just don't work. I used to really enjoy cloying beers. Like people would be like, why, that's too sweet. And I'd say, maybe for you. My buddy Jeff, aka No Jinx, he's a guy that I don't think has met a beer that's too sweet for him. And I used to be that way. But some point in the last couple of years, like I want to balance. I want either some bitterness, or if I'm doing like a sour or something, I want some sourness, some tartness, some dryness, something to break up the monotony of sweetness. And in this one, I don't fucking care like right now. I want this to be sweet. This is what I expected. It's a fucking bourbon barrel aged Beer Geek maple vanilla shake. Like it should be sweet. And if it's not, then I would be disappointed. Body on this one's a medium to full body. It is syrupy. It's thick. It's a touch thin. Shout out to Paul for PaTroll once again. But not really. I mean, it's a bit thin for 13%, but this is, the body drinks like a big viscous Imperial Stout. I think I would want it a little bit more like thick and chewy. The mouthfeel, it is undercarbonated a bit. Yeah, I don't know if that's because of the crowler. I don't know if that's just because of the barrel aging, whatever the case may be. It's undercarb, but it's super soft and smooth on the palate. It's not necessarily creamy, but soft and really, really smooth on the palate. Makes it really easy to drink. As you can see, I'm drinking a decent amount of this at 13%. I'm going to be fucking hammered by the time I'm done with this can. I only drank one other beer today, and that was Finback's Moray, which was a sour IPA, 6.2%. I'm going to be just schmammered at the end of this. Despite the fact that it ruined my fucking tablecloth, which I will have to wash, despite the fact that I did pay $9.99 for a single 16-ounce crowler can, this is a fucking delicious beer. I cannot give it a 5 out of 5, though, based on the fact that I'm not really getting coffee in this one. Beer Geek, the Beer Geek series has coffee in it. I'm pretty sure this has coffee in it. Now, I'm going to say this. If there's not coffee in this, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be, then I'm still going to give it this appropriate score because there's other slight deficiencies with this beer. Number one, it's undercarbonated. Number two, it's not straight on full-bodied for me. But rating on the barrel-aged Beer Geek Maple Vanilla Shake, on it just says BA Maple Vanilla Shake. I'm pretty sure this is Bourbon Barrel-Aged Beer Geek Maple Vanilla Shake. The rating, I would give this a high 4.75 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.85 out of 5. It approaches 5, but it doesn't reach that because of the lack of coffee and because of the body and mouthfeel just being a smidge under where I'd want it to be. But, I'm just picking it apart because that's what you do in beer reviews, right? You sit here and you go, oh, this is slightly off, or this is what. For me, this is worth $9.99 to try this once and maybe even buy this can. If I saw a can of this for $10, like the real can that I assume they can it, I don't know, maybe it's just kegs only. But if I saw this again at $10, I would buy one. I would buy one and I would share it with friends. This is a can that I could probably share with 3 or 4 people. Everybody gets 4 or 5 ounces of it, or 3 to 4 ounces of it, and I think you'd be happy with it. I'm gonna drink the rest of this. Probably take me a couple hours. Maybe not though, because it's super drinkable despite everything that's going on. This is a fucking delicious beer. It really is. If you have a chance to try out the barrel-aged Beer Geek Maple Vanilla Shake from Mikkeller, you owe it to yourself. If you like any of the adjuncts, if you like maple, you like vanilla, or you like barrel-aged beers, and you've had any of the base shake beers or any of the base Beer Geek beers, this is just fucking delicious. I don't know what else to say about it. So high 4.75 out of 5, 4.85 out of 5 for Mikkeller San Diego's Bourbon Barrel Aged Beer Geek Maple Vanilla Shake. If you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. I think it's really damn good, and I'm gonna sit here and drink the rest of it because it is fucking delicious. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. Till the next one, cheers.